call our meeting to order at 4 o'clock, and we are actually going to go to recess. Recess. Resource. call to order at 4:07. Let's just jump right into our approval of the minutes. Has everyone read the minutes?
We have.
Yes.
Okay. Do we need a motion to approve the minutes?
Yep.
All right, would someone like to make a motion to approve the minutes?
I will make a motion to approve the minutes from May 22nd of the Public Art and Design Board meeting.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion.
Motion passes. Item number 3, citizens to be heard.
Hi there, Betsy Adler with the Clearwater Arts Alliance. I just wanted to give you guys a couple of updates on things that we've done recently. Thanks to the City of Clearwater's help, we have a new contract to work on signal boxes that are within Pinellas County, within the City of Clearwater, but aren't city boxes, so they're county boxes. And so we've done 5 new boxes in the last just month or two. We have one at Sunset Point Road and Keene Road, one at Sunset Point Road and Old Oakhurst, one at McMullen Booth and Drew Street, one at Belcher and Oak Neck Road, and one at Belcher and Harn. So hopefully you'll see those as you go around the area. Several of them are reused designs. We always pay our artists a fee to use their design more than once, as long as it's not close to the other boxes. One of them is a brand new design. We also have opening tomorrow night at the Clearwater Main Library. We have Chris Van Voren's solo exhibition. So if you want to come out tomorrow and see his show, it's opening from 5:30 to 7 tomorrow night here at the library. And then our big thing is we have our annual event for the Clearwater Arts Alliance, Monday, November 3rd, 5:30 to 7:30. It'll be at the Cleveland Street Market this year, and it has a public art component, so we will be voting on a new piece of art that will be within the city. It's going to be a dolphin sculpture, and it's going to be right outside the library here, right near the Baycare Sound. So everyone who comes to this event, we hope everyone will come. If you're there, you get to vote on the piece that will be displayed and created for that dolphin. So there'll be some artists, we're gonna send it out to local artists for their submissions. Our committee will narrow it down, and then there'll be 3 choices that night. So there'll be a new public art piece as a result of this event. So we hope that you'll all come. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Betsy.
Moving on to item 4, new business items. Item number 4.1, we are to discuss and vote on the mosaic sculpture at the Marina Walk.
Good afternoon, Amber Bryce, Arts and Cultural Affairs Manager. So previously, this board had voted on the floaty totem piece by artist Eileen Gay for the Clearwater Marina. However, after discussions with Marine and Aviation and some of the marina tenants, there were concerns raised about the elements resembling mooring balls, which are illegal in Clearwater. So they just didn't think that was a very good fit for that area. So we went back to the artist. Luckily, she's a previous commercial artist, so she wasn't upset or anything. So she came up with 2 alternative designs. One is called Catch, which is a type of a boat. I didn't know that, but it is. And you can see this. Daniel. So Catch is a boat. It has dolphins on it. It'll be mosaiced in blue and then white. And this is kind of the side view of it. And then there's Consciousness, which is spelled like conch shell. And it is essentially a conch shell with white mosaic, gold, and then in the middle it'll be blue. So I had sent you guys these designs previously so you could look at them. We did send out a vote to the Clearwater Marina tenants. We got a couple of votes back, 9 votes for catch, 6 votes for consciousness. Some comments they made, they're both beautiful, but the colors of the dolphins and catch sees like everything we see at Clearwater Beach. Catch represents the majority of what the fleet does, boats and dolphin watching. So that's where the tenants kind of, I mean, it was pretty evenly split, but majority. And the artist also sent me an email saying that she thinks catch might be a better fit because she feels this one is a little castle-y, as she put it. But in the end, we are asking the board to decide which design to move forward with. Comments?
I'm heartbroken.
I know.
I'm really upset about this.
You were pushing Floaty Totem really hard.
I really
It's
was.
okay.
I really liked that piece a lot. It was fun. But, oh well,
So are
it's a
we,
bummer.
You're
between
picking,
these two, we're not going to
Correct.
go and consider any of the previous?
nope, these
ones?
two have been approved by Marine and Aviation Department, so we're moving forward with one of these. And we're at the point now where fabrication has to start for it to be done on time.
I think if the tenants are good with catch, that was
Yeah.
kind of where I was going. The other, I just was worried about like it falling over or something, like, but I know that wouldn't be the case. But if they like that one, I was gonna go for that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, me as well.
I agree as well.
Anybody want to make a motion? We're asking for an official vote.
I'll make a motion to approve catch as the piece for the Marina Walk.
I'll
Second.
second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, catch
Motion
is the
carries.
piece.
Rip Floaty Totem.
Dang it. It's just a lack of imagination. Yes, so moving on to item 4.2, City Hall's suspended sculpture proposals.
So the city of Clearwater is constructing a new city hall. Completion will be 2026. As part of the architectural design, a location has been designated for a suspended sculpture. It's kind of close to the stairway when you walk into the building. Drawing from previous sculpture calls from Fire Station 46, the beach marina, as well as the PSTA call, which I helped facilitate. We went to like the top 10 artists and then picked some artists that had suspended sculpture experience. I asked 5 artists for proposals, only 4 sent proposals back. I'm asking the board to narrow either down to 2 designs or 2 artists so that we can do a public vote. This is a pretty big deal. We've been waiting for a new city hall for quite some time, so we're hoping to have a little bit of staff input and then public input on the final design. You do have images in front of you. This is the piece by Virginia Kistler. It's supposed to be a play on the shells. It's an aluminum structure that'll be painted, and then inside the holes will be a resin. So there's 2 designs. They're very similar. One is a little wider, one is a little bit more slender. So this is that proposal. Then we have Davis McCarty, who was the artist that we liked the moon piece that we were going to put the sculpture, but we thought the acrylic maybe would be too hard to clean. So these are his 2 proposals. Ocean. So this is acrylic. And then sky. So these are flat pieces that create a cylinder, and there's spaces in between them. And then there is MGA. Their 2 designs would be similar to this one, so they're cut metal like this. Radiant loop, I mean, they're both very similar. Radiant loop, and then, so one is a little more slender at the bottom, like this. And one is a little bit more like an infinity symbol. And then the fourth one is James Peterson. The piece, there's two different pieces, very different from each other. Ripple. So this one kind of looks like seaweed, I guess. And this one is, it's hard to tell, but it'll be stacked acrylic pieces that will make a 3D design that's supposed to resemble water, I believe.
Okay.
And those are the four. So any initial thoughts, conversations?
Any discussion?
Want to see another one visually up here?
That's pretty interesting.
Which one?
The last one, that looks like the water, this person, but the other one.
Yeah, I kind of like.
This is kind of fun too.
Yeah.
Can you
I'm
talk
not
louder?
crazy about this because it has some connotations to some local stuff.
Jonathan.
I don't think it's good.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
So discussion was.
I actually really like this piece quite a bit. I mean, if it was up to me, I would choose one from this artist or the last artist.
Which one's the last one? This
Sorry.
one? This one?
Yeah, I'm torn between
That one.
between those two pieces. I like both.
Well, like I
of them
said,
quite a bit.
if we like two
Yeah.
artists, we can narrow it down to two artists and then have four designs for people to choose from as opposed to two designs.
Okay.
If
Right,
that's
right, right.
easier.
Yeah. I think it's definitely, for me, it's between the first artist and then the last artist.
Okay.
That's where I was too.
I mean, I like some of the other pieces in the MJ proposal, but I'm not crazy about the infinity symbol being in a public space in the city of Clearwater.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to
I think it has
connect
some,
as well as the shell and the
yeah,
ocean.
yeah.
So can we get rid of this one then? Are you all
Yeah, I mean,
saying no MGA?
it's a really good proposal. I mean, they always do a great proposal on all of their public design pieces, call for entries. But I'm not, it doesn't look like it fills up the space or
Right.
activates the space as much as some of the other pieces.
So is the entire board okay with getting rid of MG as an option?
Yes.
So then we have Peterson, which are these two pieces, McCarty, which are these two pieces, and then Kistler, which are these two pieces.
So you said it's cut aluminum and then resin on
That's what
the-
it says in here. So it says 1/8 thick custom resin product. Opacity is customizable, so I guess it,
Yeah,
it's opaque because we want it to be. And then 1/8 aluminum painted with a polyurethane automotive paint. So I guess it kind of like is an ombre, blue to white.
yeah.
But obviously we can change the color if we want to.
Yeah.
I like how it picks up a little bit of the arch for the, is this supposed to be representative of the actual atrium in the
Yes.
city hall?
So the stairs kind of.
That's cool.
So you'll be able to actually see it from the stairs when you're coming down as well, like you'll see from that
But there
space.
seem to be a lot of other fairly hard lines in that atrium, and this seems to kind of
Soften it. yeah.
soften it and kind of stand in
Also looks
contrast.
like, scale-wise, it looks pretty big.
Yeah.
And I like that
It's
translucency that you can see, like, kind of the other elements through it.
Just so you guys know, they were given perimeters, it can only be 6 feet wide, I think is the max, and then 17.5 feet long.
Long.
That's big.
That is pretty big.
It is big,
Yeah.
but it's hanging from the second floor, and then there has to be
Right, yeah.
10 feet of clearance from the floor to the top, the bottom of the
Right.
sculpture.
Because,
So most of them filled that space, or they tried to. This one's a little smaller.
Can we see the reference image for the first design again?
This one?
Yeah, the
the shell.
the
Peters.
shells.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
kinda
kind
I
of
like
the
that.
inspiration, I think.
yeah. I
Behind
miss some
it.
of that symmetry.
Yeah, it is pretty symmetrical compared to the
Yeah.
inspiration.
Yeah.
I like that piece.
And then there's this
That's why I like
one.
that one.
I like
Obviously,
that one,
inspiration
yeah,
was
it's
this.
real,
Okay.
that
That
looks
one has
nice.
lights.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks a lot, yeah.
yeah.
What is the material choice on this one?
What did they put? Planned materials, stainless steel, aluminum tubing, PETG, and acrylic. I don't know what PETG is.
It's like soda bottle plastic.
Okay. He has similar pieces. This one right here, kind of off to the left, is a piece that it doesn't move, but it kind of looks like it moves, and he puts
Yeah.
lights in it to give it almost like a wave effect.
Right.
If you saw, like right here,
Wow,
this
I
is
like,
kind of the piece.
yeah, that's really nice.
So we could do something like that with this, you know, it's kind
It's
of our
still
choice.
open,
If we
yeah.
want to add lights, we can.
Right.
That was kind of my question, is what's the lighting in there? It's kind of hard to see.
So there's a window off to the right here in this concept. You can kind of see it. So it'll be getting a lot of natural light. He
Of
has
course,
it
that
kind
would
of,
change throughout the day.
right,
That's cool.
it's facing
Yeah, and
Fourth
those are
Street.
all durable materials,
Mhm.
you know, that, or we're not concerned about weather, but, I mean, that, my concern with the first one is like epoxy might yellow over time.
This
from
one?
Yeah, from the sunlight, from the UV exposure. I don't know,
So how do you all feel about McCarty? Are we saying no to this artist? Are we? So I
That's
guess we just need to narrow it down to two artists if we kind of like all of the designs the other two have.
that's like the dichroic acrylic, is that what the
Yes,
material is?
correct. Plexiglass, gradient panels, marine grade aluminum frame, stainless steel suspended hardware.
So,
It's nice, it doesn't, for me, it's not quite as exciting as the first, the other two, Kessler and Peterson.
Anybody else?
I mean, I like that one.
So this
more
kind
than
of shows, I think, the atrium a little better. So you
Yeah.
do have that rounded
Wow.
space as you walk in. It's gonna be wood paneled.
mhm,
Nice.
And then those are stairs that go up to the city council chambers.
yeah.
Yeah, when you compare the sky sculpture to the ocean, it really kind of brings out how that space seems to need something to bring some movement and
Yeah,
energy to it.
yeah.
And so like the sky, I can see it kind of mirrors some of the shapes, but it seems kind of static.
Yeah. There's not enough contrast, is what you're saying, in the space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does someone want to make a motion to move forward with Birdie?
Peterson and Kistler, are those the
Yes.
ones, this
Yeah, I'll-
one and this one?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to, I guess, put forward Kissler and Peterson as our recommendations from the board for the, I guess, public to vote on.
A second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right. Developon, you want to read 4.3?
I just like having conversations like this with you all.
It's kind of fun.
Yes. Moving on to item 4.4, nope. Yes.
4.3.
4.3, sorry. East Pollution Control Facility mural.
Okay, so in the past, we partnered with Public Utilities for the water tanks that we did on the countryside murals on those water tanks. So Public Utilities reached out about doing another mural on the East Pollution Control Facility. So this is a building located on Gulf to Bay, right before you get onto the Courtney Campbell Causeway. I think you all are familiar with the gas station, kind of right before you get onto McMullen Booth. That gas station right there, it's the facility across the street. So you can actually see it from that gas station, but you probably just don't pay attention to it. This is a really highly visible wall. I think it's a great opportunity for public art. Thousands of cars pass by there every day. We reached out to Holland King, who is a Tampa-based artist. He did the grad chalk walk. He did a really great job, and we thought he would be a strong fit for this project. So here are some of the designs. Here's the building to kind of give you some context. And here are some of the designs. So Public Utilities did ask for sea life, underwater life, conservation themes. So this would be on the main building. And then if you see to the right, there's kind of like these panels, like there's latticed walls, but in between, there's solid panels. We cannot remove any of the trees, but like the bushes and some of the weeds can all be taken out. And so each panel can be painted with kind of this underwater, the ones that are more covered by trees would just be this underwater theme, but the ones that are not would have different sea life on them. So we could do a dolphin, a manatee, fish, a swordfish, all different things. So Public Utilities loves these designs. We're really just looking for an official vote to move forward with design and artist on this.
Any discussion? I kind of like these.
I guess one question I had, especially since there's so much traffic there, is part of the plan to light those murals?
I don't know if there's any plans for lighting. To be honest, this building probably won't exist in 10 years. I think they're going to move it. So this mural is not going to be a permanent fixture in our city. We already know that. So I don't see them investing in lights for that unless they already exist on this space. Or unless there's maybe some solar lights we can kind of just put in there.
Look, it's a high visibility spot. I think it's a good spot for a piece of public art.
I agree.
It is kind of a weird, like, intersection with that gas station and then the little beach thing, and they're putting in that bridge, that bike bridge.
That's why it needs it.
Yeah.
Being that the case, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we move forward with, funding this or allowing the
Just the
city
design.
to. Yeah. Are they going to do a call for proposals, or are we going
So
with this?
we just took from the
We
artists
already
that
have
we
an
already
artist,
have, yeah.
That we move forward with this project.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye?
Motion approved. Moving on to item 4.4, world's largest rubber duck coming to Clearwater.
Okay, guys, I know you're really excited about this, because I am. The world's largest rubber duck will be coming to Clearwater January 8th through the 25th. We have a full slate of events that we've planned around the duck, including the Market Marie that already happens monthly, but that'll be that first Saturday. Then we're going to do Parks and Rec is going to do a Duck Dash 5K, which will be really fun. We're going to do a Rubber Ducky Birthday Bash, which will be a family celebration. Bouncy houses, face painting, live concert by Jack Hartman, which if you know, you know. He's like a local child entertainer, YouTube sensation. He's like 5 million followers on YouTube, so he's a big deal. And then to close it out, we're gonna have a Jeep Fest the last weekend. Name still TBD, but we're hoping that this will draw strong attendance, be kind of something unique and fun and memorable, bring people down to downtown Clearwater, giving everybody a cool photo opportunity. So no real vote, just PSA that it's happening, and if you wanted to make any comments about it.
I'm just sorry Kevin Grass isn't here for this.
Man.
I think
Any
it's
other discussion?
Funny.
Where is the duck gonna be?
Coachman Park.
Just in the park.
Yeah, so you'll be able to see it from the bridge, you'll be able to see it from
That's
all the
pretty cool.
buildings downtown. It's 6 stories tall, so she's big.
When is it? What's the?
January 8th is like install date, the 10th will be the first, and then the 25th will be the last day.
Oh, okay.
6 stories
So,
tall.
well past hurricane season.
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking that
Yes.
too.
Yes.
You could ride it to,
World's largest duck comes unmoored and
Yeah.
attacks city of Clearwater.
ride it to Alabama. Oh my gosh.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
that'll be fun.
activate the space and get people down there.
Yeah.
Well,
Especially, did you say there's
That was just
a Jeep
a
Fest as
PSA.
well?
Yeah, there's gonna be a Jeep Fest.
Of course, there will be a Jeep
Yeah,
Fest.
we're excited about that.
Yeah. Cool. Item number 4.5, new Marymount Park mural.
So Clearwater Marymount Park is located at 1900 Gilbert Street. It's near the Clearwater Air Park. During the hurricanes, after the hurricanes, it was used as a temporary debris site for all the hurricane debris. As a result, the park was closed for several months, created an inconvenience and an eyesore for the surrounding residents. So in response, and as an olive branch, the city has renovated the park. They hosted a community event, included a survey where residents got to select new playground equipment that will be in there. They're gonna redo the entire bathroom structure, like stucco and new doors and everything. And the idea was to put a mural on the building on one side. And I said, well, let's just put a mural on the whole building because you can see it from the road. And they agreed. So Laura Thomas, who is an artist we've worked with a couple of times for the Grad Chalk Walk and another event that we had. But I wanted to give her an opportunity to actually do a mural in the city. So I had originally uploaded these designs. This was the design that I showed you, but then after this agenda was already published, she sent a second design. So what we're planning to do, this was the first design with the birds, but this was the second design with flowers. So what we're planning to do is have very hyper-local vote, so put a signage in the park with a QR code and let the neighborhood actually decide which design that they want.
Yeah.
And then the cool part about this is we're gonna have a community event and there'll be a paint by numbers kind of set up, so the community and the children and everything can help paint whatever design they pick, so they'll be able to help paint the mural.
Nice.
So we're excited about this. This is just the building now for some reference. So just looking on a vote to move forward with the artist and then whatever design the community chooses.
I'll make a motion to move forward with this project. I'm excited about it.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
The frangipani is
Motion carries.
awesome.
Yeah.
I'm really super, this is great too. Yeah, they're all really nice. I'm glad I'm not painting them.
Moving on to item 4.6, that's the restoration of city public art pieces.
Okay, so I'm gonna kind of combine this with 4.7 because they kind of lead into each other. So it's a little out of order. So the city has hired Burke & Co., which is a fine art consulting and certified appraisal company, to complete condition reports of the city's major public art assets and to appraise other works in our collection, such as the highwayman paintings that are in the library. So these condition reports are now complete, and they're helping us identify pieces that need immediate cleaning or restoration. So with these condition reports in mind, we have hired Public Artworks for basic maintenance on some of the sculptures. So the middens piece, which is in Coachman right here in front of the dockmaster's office, the stainless steel piece, that was pretty rusted. So we did some rust remediation and cleaning, which I guess I didn't put on here, but I did in the agenda as attached before and after photos, and it looks really, really good. He also did the torches, which aren't technically public art because we didn't hire an artist to do them, but they're considered a city asset. They were looking pretty rough too on the back side of them, so those are now cleaned. And then next month he's going to do Ocean Swirl, which is the new sculpture in front of Clearwater Beach, but unfortunately with the hurricane, there was a lot of flooding and there's a very clear discoloration between the bottom and the top where standing water was. And then there's two other pieces that are frequently brought up by the board, so I thought I'd bring them up. One of them is Centennial Oak, which is in front of the main library. Unfortunately, there's construction happening in the parking lot. They're breaking ground very soon. So if we clean, I just feel like it's gonna be a waste of money because it's just gonna get dust and debris and everything all over it. So I think we're just gonna wait until that construction is complete and then possibly even rotate the piece so that there's even wear on the acrylic on both sides, and then do a polish and a clean. And then the Reaching for Knowledge piece is the one in front of the East Library, which many of you have mentioned. We've gotten some public comments on that as well. It's significantly faded. It was put in, I think, 2018, so it's not that old. Unfortunately, the artist in their documentation claimed that they powder coated it. I've had two conservators look at it and say that it's not powder coated. So it almost just looks like basic acrylic paint, which is just not meant to withstand the elements. So this is gonna be more than just a repaint job, which is kind of what the original thought was. It's gonna be, we have to strip the piece, clean the piece, repaint the piece with like a marine grade type paint. So we're looking at a lot more expensive job than we originally thought. So library knows it has to be done. I know it has to be done. We are working towards it to try to figure out the best way to move forward with
They have
this.
to take it down for this.
So that was if they can take it down, that's actually less expensive than
Yeah.
if you have to time it with somebody on site. That costs more money.
Yeah, that'd be a nightmare.
So,
Is there a way that that could be an opportunity to showcase another piece? To where what the public would see was, here's another piece up for a while, and then the other piece comes back?
yeah, that's a good idea. If we end up taking it down and they don't do work on site, that's definitely a good idea. We can put something else there in the meantime. But we are gonna move forward. It's just a matter of getting some quotes and deciding when is the best time to do that, so. And that's that.
Cool.
And you're moving right into 4.7? What did
Yeah, I
you?
kinda combined that.
You just covered
Yeah.
all of this. I just wanted to make sure, because I have this tendency. Moving into 4.8, Art Oasis Mural Festival.
So the Arts and Cultural Affairs Division planned to host the second Art Oasis Mural Festival late February, early March 2026. This festival will take place within the North Greenwood CRA. I presented the concept at the North Greenwood CRA Neighborhood Committee, which Mr. Volaton actually sits on that committee.
Yes.
You weren't there that day, so you didn't hear my pitch, but it was received very positively. Got some good feedback. And right now, there's a business application open. So any business within that CRA boundary that wants to receive a mural for free on their building can apply. And then we're gonna move forward after that to decide maybe which ones have the best visibility. But we're really excited about that. But that'll be a CRA kind of funded project.
Fantastic. Item 4.9, Crestlake Park Giving Wall Mural.
Okay, we're almost there, guys.
Almost.
The Sky Crest Neighborhood Association, which borders Crestlake Park, has been requesting a mural on the opposite side of the Giving Wall, which faces the street. They've been requesting this for a couple years now. So based on what they were asking for, we thought artist Frankie G would be a good choice for this project. So the artist and I both attended the neighborhoods meeting. We got feedback on design elements they were looking for. So they wanted to see nature that you could find in the park, the highly utilized dog park, the history of gladiolas in that area. The artist came up with a couple of different designs. So we actually did a public vote, just like we wanted to do in Marymount, with signage, used a QR code, so to kind of keep it hyper-local to people that use the park. We received 222 votes, which is great engagement. And the neighborhood chose, so these were the two designs. Neighborhood chose this one, the one with the dog chasing the duck. So it was 136 votes for this and 86 votes for the two dogs. They're very similar, but one has two dogs and one has one dog and a duck. So we're asking for a formal vote to move forward with the artist and the design selected by the community, this one.
I'll make a motion to move forward with the artist and design chosen by the community.
I second that motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Great.
Moving on to item number 4.10. Discuss the use of AI technology for scoring artist applications.
Okay, so I wanted to have this discussion with you all about a company called Monochronicle. They use AI technology for various different ways, but just for what we would use it for, to sort of whittle down artist applications. So for context, our last call for mural artists had 277 applications. Now that's a lot to ask the board, Arts Alliance community members, to take time to score those applications. We don't ask jurors to look at resumes, social medias, letters of interest. We only score based off of images. A couple of you, I think Mr. Barnes and Mr. Volaton, didn't even finish scoring the 277, so that in itself skews scores. And another factor, you know, when you've looked at 30, 40 your eyes start to glaze over, everything kind of starts to look the same, maybe it skews the way we score, and this happens to all of us. And there's also bias that comes into play, even though these are scored blind, a lot of us maybe know artists just based off of their work, right? Or an artist puts themselves in a photo even though they're not supposed to. So there can be bias based on that. So I asked for a trial from this company, was very vague, didn't, you can kind of get as granular as you want with the ask to AI. For this, it was find artists, top artists that have large-scale mural experience, and based on how good their designs are and skill set, basically. And so, interestingly, this is what the AI came back with. Top 4, and these aren't in any order, they're just top candidates. And of these top candidates, we actually have hired 3 of them, and 3 of them are local, which it took into account. I didn't ask it to take into account local artists, but that's what it did. And this, I'm not going to go through all of this, but this is the kind of the criteria that it used. And then I said, we're going to have a mural festival, we have a doc master's office, here's what we need artists for. So it picked Cecilia Luisa, which we've used, and it kind of explains the artist's excellence. It goes through the resumes, it goes through the social media of the artists, it goes through all of this stuff, so we don't have to. And then it picked Frankie G, who we've worked with and is doing the Crest Lake Park mural. It also picked Naomi Haberland, we've hired her for 2 pieces. And then it picked Timothy Robert Smith, that was one of the ones where you 2 didn't get to score, so it skewed his scores. And this was an artist based in California, so I think he was automatically kind of, for some of the stuff, just taken out of the running. I would like to use this as a tool to maybe whittle it down to a top 40 or a top 50. And then we still have a jury. We still have Public Art and Design Board vote.
Yes.
But it's not asking you to pick, go through 277 applications, some of which are not even qualified. So I can get more granular with it. I can tell you exactly how we all scored these specific artists. I don't know if we need to go into that much detail, but I just wanted to kind of open it up as like topic of discussion and how you all feel about this.
I mean, a positive would be that it saves a ton of time with incomplete applications or people that maybe don't have any qualifications and, experience in public art. Right, like we use things like this when we filter out job applications, like they don't have this degree or whatever. The maybe negative is it cuts out those people that don't have a lot of public art experience. It's going to it could bypass them. And then how do they break into public art?
It's a good point,
But also 277 applications is nuts.
right.
I mean, I agree with you, sitting there, click, 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 and the interface is okay, but it's not efficient,
But we wouldn't hire, well, not every job is the same, right? But
Yeah.
for big jobs, we wouldn't want an artist that doesn't have some sort of
Right,
mural
no,
experience
absolutely,
anyway.
yeah.
So we could ask that, like, hey, filter out
Yeah.
for some up and coming emerging artists for one project we're gonna do versus we need somebody with a lot of experience
Right,
with this
right.
project.
I mean, especially if they're doing like the water tanks or whatever on 580, that guy had to rent a cherry picker and all this other stuff. I mean, that's a way bigger project than the Crest Lake Park, wall that I can do without a ladder.
So is that how it works? It's like you can do a prompt for each of the calls to get your top 50 of the project?
Yes.
And then, okay.
Is it a recurring expense or a one-time fee?
So would be a one-time fee for each call.
Oh, okay.
So that's why we wanna make sure we got the ask right with
Yeah,
AI, because
yeah.
they're not gonna let us go, I mean, maybe there's a couple of edits, but
Right. How much?
$600
Okay.
per AI-generated
Yeah.
review.
It's fine with me. I mean,
It's the way of things.
I'm happy to not look through 277
Me too. I'm happy to not
applications
look
ever
through
again in my
that many
life.
applications out.
So, no,
I think getting down to 50 is fine to be able to go over.
yeah.
And
I mean,
it
50
takes out a lot of redundancies as well with regard to fatigue, because there's a lot of times where I didn't even know for myself, I thought I completed, but Some techniques, some styles kind of run together, and sometimes you feel like you're looking at the same piece, and you just click through sometimes. So I think it'll help just kind of isolate what we need and then be able to pay special attention to the artists that rise to the top of that selection.
Yeah, I mean, I see primarily using this for the mural stuff, not for the 3D pieces. You know, we don't get as many applications for those because the resources needed are much higher than, you know, paint and ladders and whatnot. You know, not everybody has a water jet and a CAD designer and all that stuff, so we don't get anywhere near the level
Yeah.
of application, the quantity of applications.
And your, excuse me, your suggestion about also asking it to look for up-and-coming artists or something at some point, kind of, was one of my issues, kind of like what Jonathan said about there are, you know, how do you find maybe somebody who's doing something really cool that just doesn't have the same, you know, same presence?
You know, like if the top pick that it chose was Cecilia Loaiza, we have 3 of her murals or 2 of her murals already, and there's several in St. Pete. Like, it's like, this will be bad. The MGA sculptures, I mean, there's like 15 of them in St. Pete, and they're really nice, but it's not a shrine to MGA or it's not a shrine to Cecilia Loaiza, who makes great work. On both groups make great work, but you know, it's nice to have the variety. And I mean, I guess maybe that is a hesitation of mine if that's who it populated as, like, or,
Well, it wasn't the top, so just so you know.
Well,
These aren't, they're not ranked, it's just, these are
Yeah.
top contenders, top candidates.
Okay.
And to play devil's advocate, that in itself is a bias that this doesn't have. So like, we have Cecilia Loaiza pieces. We're
Right.
not going to hire her because of that reason. AI doesn't take that into account.
Right,
We
right.
can later,
Right.
but it's saying she has
and I
the
like her
technique.
work. I
right?
mean, and she's very nice.
She is.
Her work's great. She's easy to work with, but, and obviously very professional because her work gets completed and stuff.
Is there a way to add into this that we would like, you know, if we're asking for 50, the top 50, that we want 5 wild cards
Yeah.
somehow that, you know, are lesser known or somewhat different than the standard criteria or something like that, just to.
Yeah, we could say, you know, pick 5 that, based on, you know, design alone, not looking at resume, that you would choose. Because maybe those people don't have as much experience, but their skill set's very high. So we could do something like that. We could, you know, just word it very carefully to what we need. For each project, it's gonna be a different look that we're going for, different styles, so.
Right.
And we would probably find out fairly soon if those wild cards were always just, you know, that
The
it's
same
just not
kind
gonna
of
work at
thing.
all.
Yeah.
And we just, it's a waste of time.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're finding some really cool stuff there.
Yeah, I think this is especially useful for the pieces that they don't have any mural experience, period. And
Yeah.
it's paintings on a wall that they're submitting. And then we have to go
Right,
through
right,
and go,
right.
well, let's just score that as one, but you still have to score it and take the time to do that. That filters all of that
No, I think
out.
this is a great use of AI. I mean, I really do.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd ever say that.
I was really waiting to see what you were
I know,
gonna
I was
say.
thinking of you too, with all the papers you have to read, and I know your colleagues are probably freaking out about that.
Do we need a vote on this, or?
No, it was just
okay, it's
discussion, and
discussion.
if, you know,
Okay.
if the board kind of has no big issues, I would like to maybe do this on the next call that we have, which is supposed to end in December,
Mhm.
and just see what it comes up with.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, worst case, we don't use it again. I mean, that's how you learn.
Right,
No, that's cool. Good find. Yeah, good find on that.
that's cool. All right, that's it.
Item number 5, do we have any old business?
I have one question, Amber. Do we have to make like a motion or anything about moving the meeting to 4 o'clock?
No, that would be
That
next
could be-
year we would
okay.
decide, and
Okay,
as long as the
cool.
majority of the board, I mean,
All
if
right.
it's good with the board.
Cool.
Okay. No business, no business.
No business.
No business. Item number 6, director's report.
I have nothing new,
Nothing new for director's
except for
report.
all the other
Oh,
things we already
man.
talked about.
Item number 7, board members to be heard.
I think I mentioned this to Amber in passing at some point. I'm wondering about, should we be asking for some Trump loyal kind of stuff? I've seen that in different cities, and I notice we don't seem to have quite so much, and it's kind of fun. You see a side of a building which, appears to have a tunnel going into it, or, it appears to have, when I was in Albania, one of the big things that the mayor of Tirana did with all these really terrible old Soviet buildings is he had them painted all these different colors, and then most people there don't have dryers, so they would hang their clothes out. And so one of the things they did was to paint on a lot of the buildings you would see. It looked like people hanging their clothes out.
That's cool.
And just, I'm not enough of an artist to know what kinds of things someone would do, but should we have a call for something specific
That might
about
be kind of
Trump
fun to-
loyal for particular spaces or something?
Yeah, like
or-
theme. I mean, they're kind of themed already, but maybe more specific themes.
So I did bring that up to our public art grant recipient, which was Clearwater Brewing Company. And they were really about it, and then they went a different direction, which was, sea life, and it looks really good. But I do like the style a lot, and I think it would definitely be possible for a Coachman Park wall, even this mural festival that we have coming up. Maybe that's just we find artists that specialize in that and give that as an option to one of the business owners. I don't know if we can specifically say we have to do this thing, but we can definitely put it out there for, especially the city-owned buildings, it'd be easier for us to do that.
Yeah.
It would be fun.
And has the city done anything with like kinetic art?
I don't think so.
Because that was one of the questions I had for the,
You mean-
you answered it, but
Like things that move?
yeah,
That
the
move?
ones
Okay.
that was in the city hall, I had a question of like, is that supposed to move at all? Or
It probably does.
I don't think they're like move. They're
Yeah. It looks
Looks like
suspended,
it
so they
maybe
move a little
sways
bit.
with the air movement in the building.
Yeah.
Depending on maybe where the vents are.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Is there,
Movement
there's
is
some,
implied.
there's some like,
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
like move with the
Like
wind.
Ruben Margolin is a sculptor that makes these kinetic pieces. They're absolutely stunning.
We've never had any submissions for like kinetic
Well, I
type
mean,
pieces?
even for like a sculpture, those are really expensive. They're
Yeah.
really cool. I love them, but I don't know if we've ever had a budget
Yeah.
high enough
then,
for
like,
that, to be
I worry
honest.
too about maintenance. Like if we already
Yeah.
have an issue with like the piece of the library, where the artist misrepresented the finish on the work. And here we are 7 years later having to take it down, and it's probably gonna be, I don't know, $20,000 to repaint it. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, but I didn't. A lot of money to repaint it. I worry about something that like has to be greased and like
Yeah.
whatever, the rope's tightened on, and like who's gonna do that?
Mm.
Do we fly the artist out every 6 months to, adjust the pulleys or whatever?
Yeah, I really don't know,
Yeah,
what's
no, I
involved
know.
in those
I
different
mean,
kinds of
something
things.
else too that might be kind of fun to explore would be like video mapping, where like on three-dimensional objects, the video only projects onto that object. You can, it's almost like if you had your projector and you put some electrical tape over it and masked it out, but you can do that digitally, so it like projects, moving images or whatever in a certain space, but not in the whole space. I mean, that might be kind of fun to.
So like
And
onto
that
a
would work
globe
well
or
in
something.
that interior, of the lobby of the new building, new municipal, or new city hall.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I mean, not now, but going forward. And that would be not Connecticut.
Not Connecticut.
We don't have anything slated, but we're not against it. I'll
Yeah.
put it like that.
Well, cool. If there is no other feedback or input, I think our meeting can be adjourned.
All right.
Do we have to make a vote? Okay, so meeting adjourned at 4:57.